Yeah, I'm trying to be positive. After the match, it definitely was struggling in the locker room. Voice narrator begins. You know what happens when a 20-year-old Grand Slam champion decides she's had enough of disrespect on national television. She doesn't tweet about it. She doesn't cry in an interview. She files a $50 million lawsuit that could change the sports media industry forever. Coco Gauff just did what most athletes would never dare to do. She looked directly at one of the biggest sports networks in America and said, "You crossed the line, and now you are going to pay." And when I say pay, I mean $50 million worth of accountability. Listen, this isn't about a bad call during a match. It's not about unfair rankings or tournament drama. This is about a Fox Sports anchor who thought he could shred a young woman's career on live TV and walk away like nothing happened. He was wrong, dead wrong. Because while everyone expected Coco to shrug it off, maybe post something inspirational on Instagram and move on, she did the opposite. She collected every clip, every word, every toxic comment, and turned them into a legal weapon that has Fox Sports scrambling more than chasing a drop shot. But here is what makes this story insane. The question isn't whether she has the right to sue. The question is why it took so long for an athlete to finally stand up like this? And more importantly, what did that anchor say that was so destructive it is now worth $50 million in court? Soft CTA. And before we dive into this shocking detail, if you love unfiltered tennis drama analysis like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Pro Tennis 360 channel so you don't miss any scandal. Because trust me, what's coming next will keep you glued to your screen. Now let's talk about what actually happened. And this is where things get extremely serious. So where do things stand now? The lawsuit is ongoing, and Fox is doing everything it can to make this disappear quietly. But Coco is not backing down. Her legal team is pushing forward, and insiders say her case is stronger than most people realize. Even if this settles out of court, the message has been crystal clear. You can't mess with athletes like it's the 90s. Not in the age of social media, receipts, and instant accountability. What makes this even more powerful is that Coco hasn't let this derail her. She continues to show up at tournaments, keeps winning, keeps smiling for fans. Every victory feels like another reminder that you cannot tear down someone built on discipline and self-belief. This lawsuit has reshaped how sports media operates. Commentators think twice before going personal. Networks shield themselves from legal liability. And athletes everywhere are watching, realizing they have more power than they thought. Coco Gauff didn't just serve justice. She served a notice to every anchor who thought young athletes were easy targets. To every network that prioritized shock value over respect. The modern athlete is not helpless. She is smart, strategic, and unafraid to defend her value. And that is what separates stars from legends. Legends don't just win on the court. They change the game off it. So what do you think? Was Coco right to sue for $50 million? Or should she have let it go? Drop your thoughts in the comment section right now. I genuinely want to know which side you stand on. And if you believe athletes deserve respect, hit the like button, subscribe to the Pro Tennis 360 channel, and turn on notifications because this story is far from over. We will be tracking every legal twist, every reaction, and every game-changing moment as Coco Gauff continues to rewrite the rules of what it means to be a modern athlete. We are watching history being made, folks, and I'll be here to break down every second of it. See you in the next video. The context, what actually happened. It all began during a broadcast that should have been routine. Fox Sports was covering the Miami Open, a standard analysis of the players and matchups. But then one of their anchors decided to deviate in the worst possible way. Instead of analyzing Coco's technique, her serve percentage, or her chances to win the tournament, he went deeply personal. Really personal. He questioned whether her success was legitimate or just media hype. He implied she was too immature to handle professional tennis. And then came the part that truly crossed the line. He said her achievements were inflated, and she was undeserving of the recognition she had received. Quote Coco from interview. I think being an athlete, people kind of disregard that side of us, the human side of things. people say so many things like, number 3 in the world, and you're doing this or you're playing like this, and you should be better. Let that sink in for a second. A grown man on national television with millions of viewers decided to publicly question whether a Grand Slam champion deserved her success. Not her backhand technique, not her tactics, but her very worth as an athlete. The way he said it made everything worse. There was this smug tone, this condescending energy, as if he were doing everyone a favor by exposing the truth about Coco Gauff. That wasn't analysis. That was character assassination disguised as sports commentary. The show continued as if nothing had happened. His co-anchors offered nervous laughter, trying to move on, but the damage was done. The words were out, recorded, broadcast to households across the country, and viral on social media within minutes. Fans watching live immediately started recording the screen. Twitter exploded. Within an hour, clips of the segment were everywhere, and people were furious. Not just Coco's fans, but tennis fans in general, sports journalists, even casual viewers who could tell something had gone too far. This wasn't tough commentary. This wasn't holding an athlete accountable. This was a targeted attack. And the target was a young woman of color who had proven herself on the biggest stages in tennis. The escalation, the toxic words. Now, this is where it gets much worse than you think. Because what the anchor said wasn't just a differing opinion. They were systematic statements designed to diminish Coco's personhood. He said she benefited from media hype more than actual talent. He suggested her success came from a feel-good story rather than athletic skill. And when his co-host tried to pivot, he doubled down. I'm just saying what everyone thinks, but is afraid to say. Can you imagine sitting at home, watching a stranger tell millions of people that your entire career is fake? That every championship, every match won, every hour of practice doesn't really matter because the media created you? That is not constructive criticism. That is malicious intent broadcast as truth. Psychological analysis. And here's the thing. This anchor didn't say those things accidentally. Sports TV anchors are often told they can talk tough to athletes. They are encouraged to create shocking debates. But there is a difference between debate and defamation. And Fox Sports just sprinted across that line. The way these comments spread showed it all. Within 30 minutes, the hashtag #DefendCoco was trending globally. Other athletes started speaking out. Serena Williams posted a message of support. Naomi Osaka called the comments disgusting. Several WTA players shared their own stories of being disrespected by sports media, turning Coco's moment into a movement. When athletes publicly defend each other like that, it means something serious has happened. Because most of the time, players stay neutral. But this was so obvious, so wrong, that silence felt like complicity. A viral tweet perfectly captured it. Imagine being 20, already a champion, and still having to prove you deserve respect. That's what female athletes face every day. It was retweeted hundreds of thousands of times. Major sports journalists started writing deep dive articles. ESPN commentators publicly criticized Fox. Even rival networks jumped in, accusing Fox of prioritizing shock value over journalism. And through all this chaos, Coco hadn't said a word. The background: who is Coco Gauff? To understand why this lawsuit is a big deal, you need to understand who Coco Gauff really is. This isn't just another player complaining about negative press. This is someone who has carried the burden of expectation since she was 15. Coco burst onto the scene at Wimbledon 2019, defeating Venus Williams in the first round. She was 15, a teenager taking down a legend on one of tennis's grandest stages. From that moment, the world couldn't look away. She became the youngest player to qualify for Wimbledon in the Open era. And suddenly, everyone had an opinion on her future. By age 20, she had won a Grand Slam, cracked the top 10 rankings, and built a brand that takes most athletes decades to create. Nike, New Balance, major endorsements, millions of followers. Her face isn't just on the tennis court, it's on billboards, magazine covers. She is not just an athlete, she is a business. And this is what makes the Fox situation so destructive. Coco's reputation is her currency. When a major network questions whether her success is real, they are not just insulting her, They are threatening her livelihood. Sponsors pay for legitimacy. Fans support authenticity. When someone with a microphone suggests it's all manufactured, it affects her contracts, her opportunities, and her entire career trajectory. Coco is no stranger to criticism. Too young, too emotional, too much pressure. She has heard it all and usually handled it with incredible composure. She let her game talk, stayed focused, and kept winning. So why was this time different? Because this wasn't about her performance. This was an attack on her character, her right to be there. And it happened on national television, where millions formed their opinions based on what self-proclaimed experts tell them. Coco recognized the bottom line. Silence was no longer strength. It was permission for others to define her narrative. And she wasn't going to let that happen. The escalation, the toxic words. Now, this is where it gets much worse than you think. Because what the anchor said wasn't just a differing opinion. They were systematic statements designed to diminish Coco's personhood. He said she benefited from media hype more than actual talent. He suggested her success came from a feel-good story rather than athletic skill. And when his co-host tried to pivot, he doubled down. I'm just saying what everyone thinks, but is afraid to say. Can you imagine sitting at home, watching a stranger tell millions of people that your entire career is fake? That every championship, every match won, every hour of practice doesn't really matter because the media created you? That is not constructive criticism. That is malicious intent broadcast as truth. Psychological analysis. And here's the thing. This anchor didn't say those things accidentally. Sports TV anchors are often told they can talk tough to athletes. They are encouraged to create shocking debates. But there is a difference between debate and defamation. And Fox Sports just sprinted across that line. The way these comments spread showed it all. Within 30 minutes, the hashtag #DefendCoco was trending globally. Other athletes started speaking out. Serena Williams posted a message of support. Naomi Osaka called the comments disgusting. Several WTA players shared their own stories of being disrespected by sports media, turning Coco's moment into a movement. When athletes publicly defend each other like that, it means something serious has happened. Because most of the time, players stay neutral. But this was so obvious, so wrong, that silence felt like complicity. A viral tweet perfectly captured it. Imagine being 20, already a champion, and still having to prove you deserve respect. That's what female athletes face every day. It was retweeted hundreds of thousands of times. Major sports journalists started writing deep dive articles. ESPN commentators publicly criticized Fox. Even rival networks jumped in, accusing Fox of prioritizing shock value over journalism. And through all this chaos, Coco hadn't said a word. The strategic silence. And this is where things get extremely interesting. Because while the internet was exploding and everyone was expecting an emotional reaction from Coco, she was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. For the first 48 hours after the scandal, Coco posted nothing. No official statement, no emotional video, no lengthy blog post. Just silence. And that silence drove people crazy. But here's the thing. In modern media, an immediate reaction is often the wrong one. When you react emotionally, you make statements that can be used against you. You allow yourself to be led by outrage instead of strategy. Coco knew this. Her team knew this. So while Fox Sports was attempting damage control and the anchor was deleting tweets, Coco and her lawyers were at work. According to sources within Coco's circle, immediately after the scandal broke, she had an emergency call with her legal team. Not to discuss whether to react, but to discuss what the best legal strategy would be. They reviewed the clip dozens of times, analyzing every word, every tone, every implication. They researched past defamation lawsuits. They consulted media law experts. And they realized they had a strong case. This is why Coco's silence was so powerful. It wasn't weakness or fear. It was calculated. With every hour of silence, Fox Sports grew more nervous. They didn't know what she would do. They couldn't control the narrative. Meanwhile, Coco's lawyers were collecting evidence. They were archiving every social media comment. documenting every time Fox reposted or shared the clip, building a file on the damage to her reputation. A legal expert explained in an interview, when someone's reputation is tied directly to their income, and that reputation is attacked on a primary platform, you've created a very dangerous legal situation. And here is the beautiful part about Coco's strategy. By staying silent, she let Fox Sports dig their own hole deeper. The network started getting defensive. They issued weak statements, tried to downplay it. Every action they took only made the potential lawsuit stronger. And then, after 72 hours of strategic silence, Coco delivered the final blow. The $50 million lawsuit. The moment changed everything. Coco Gauff's legal team filed a $50 million lawsuit against Fox Sports and the anchor. $50 million. Not a cease and desist letter. Not a demand for an apology. A full-scale legal war. The lawsuit hit Fox with 3 major claims. First, defamation. The statements were false and intended to cause harm. Second, emotional distress. The tone wasn't criticism. It was public humiliation. Third, professional damage. By questioning her legitimacy, Fox directly threatened her endorsements and future opportunities. Legal experts immediately started dissecting the case, and most said the same thing. Coco has a strong argument. A civil lawyer analyzed, when you attack someone's professional reputation on a major platform, and that reputation is tied to their income, you've entered dangerous legal territory. The number 50 million was not random. Coco's team had calculated the value of her brand, her current endorsements, and her potential future earnings. The lawsuit wasn't about getting rich. It was about sending a message at a price no one could ignore. Here's how the numbers break down. Coco currently has endorsement deals valued at an estimated $10 to $15 million annually. She is only 20, with a career that could last another 10 to 15 years. If Fox's comments damaged her ability to re-sign contracts or reduced her brand value by just 20%, that's tens of millions in lost income. Fox's legal team knew instantly they were in deep trouble because everything was recorded, every word, every tone. In defamation cases, evidence is everything, and Coco had it all on video. But here is what made this lawsuit even stronger. It wasn't just about what was said. It was about the pattern. Coco's lawyers dug up clips of the same anchor, making similar comments about other female athletes, building a case that this wasn't a one-time mistake. This was systematic behavior. When Coco finally spoke out publicly, she was calm and clear. I have always let my game do the talking. But when false narratives are spread, they don't just hurt me. They disrespect every athlete who works hard for what they achieve. This is about fairness, not fame. No anger, no shouting, just the truth. And that made it even more powerful. Fox panics. Fox Sports went into full panic mode immediately after the lawsuit was announced. Their PR team released a generic statement. We respect Coco Gauff as an athlete. The comments made were purely opinion and not intended as a personal attack. Translation: we messed up, but please don't take $50 million from us. Too late. The anchor who made the comments went completely silent. No tweets, no follow-up segment, just deafening on-air silence. The kind of silence that follows a serious conversation with a lawyer. Within hours, the original clip disappeared from Fox's website. Editors scrubbed it from archives, pretending it never existed. But fans had saved and reposted it everywhere. That's the beautiful thing about the internet in 2025. You cannot erase what you said on the air. Once it's out there forever. Behind the scenes, Fox's lawyers immediately tried to negotiate a settlement. They wanted to handle this privately, make it disappear quietly. But Coco's team wasn't interested. They wanted this to play out publicly because it wasn't about money. It was about accountability. One media lawyer summed it up. Fox didn't just cross the line between criticism and defamation. They sprinted across it. The network that celebrates tough commentary suddenly couldn't handle the consequences. And here is the most beautiful irony. The anchor who once called Coco overhyped and undeserving of recognition just helped make her more powerful than ever. The lawsuit transformed her from a tennis champion into a global symbol. Meanwhile, other media networks silently watched Fox drown in their own crisis. No one wanted to be the next network facing a $50 million lawsuit. Suddenly, every anchor became very careful about how they spoke about young athletes. Internal memos were sent out. Emergency meetings were held. "Nobody pull a Fox moment again," one internal TV producer joked. But in reality, the message was deadly serious. The era when you could say anything about athletes without consequences over. The bigger picture. This lawsuit isn't just about Coco versus Fox. It's about something much bigger. For decades, sports media has gotten away with treating athletes, especially young women, like they are fair game for any kind of comment. And athletes were expected to just take it, smile, and move on. But Coco flipped that script. By filing this suit, she sent a message to every sports network. The old rules no longer apply. You can criticize the performance, but you cannot destroy the character without consequence. And the impact was immediate. Sports networks across the country began quietly re-evaluating their commentary policies. Producers sent out memos about respectful dialogue. Anchors became visibly more careful when discussing young athletes. One network insider even joked, "Everyone is terrified of pulling a Fox moment." Major sponsors saw what was happening and doubled down on Coco. Nike, New Balance, and tech companies publicly praised her for standing up. They didn't see controversy. They saw leadership. Coco is not just an athlete anymore. She became the face of athlete power. A 20-year-old woman holding one of the biggest media companies accountable. Most athletes would have let their PR team handle it. Coco filed the lawsuit with her name on it. Even the WTA released a statement supporting her right to protect her reputation, essentially telling the media to stop acting like bullies. The beautiful irony? The anchor who called Coco overhyped just helped make her stronger than ever. The lawsuit turned her from a tennis champion into a global icon. And here's the thing, this isn't just about tennis anymore. This is about cultural power. It's about young women of color taking back control of their narrative. It's about not letting large corporations define your worth. A sports commentator wrote, "In one move, Coco Gauff changed the conversation on athlete power. Networks may never comment on young athletes the same way again." And you know what? That's exactly what she wanted.